Hi guys, today we're going to be working on lesson 59. I will send you the recording and the workbook so you can complete it by today. When you're done, make sure you send me a picture. Let's go ahead and touch part 1. In some of those words, the letters EA make the sound E as in eat. In some of those words, the letters EA make the sound E as in ed. Touch the first word in column A. First word, what word? Pleasant. Next word, what word? Please. Next word, what word? Dream. Next word, what word? Health. Let's look at column B. First word, what word? Deal. Next word, what word? Dealt. Next word, what word? Instead. Next word, what word? Creature. Now let's go ahead and touch part 2. Let's see if you remember a meaning for those affixes. Touch the letters P-R-E. What's one meaning of pre? Before. Touch the letters S-U-B. What's one meaning of sub? Under or less than. Touch the letters UN. What's one meaning of un? Not. Touch the letters RE. What's one meaning of re? Again. Touch the letters LY. What's one meaning of lee? How something happened. Let's go ahead and look at part 3. What's the underlined part? J. What word? College. Next word, what's the underlined part? What word? Taught. Next word, what's the underlined part? What word? Slightest. Next word, what's the underlined part? Lee. What word? Seriously. Next word, what's the underlined part? Pre. What word? Pretended. Next word, what's the underlined part? What word? Acid. Let's go ahead and look at part 4. We're going to talk about what those words mean. Number 1, impish. Impish means full of mischief. Now touch word number 2. What word? Undergraduate. An undergraduate is a student who is studying for a regular college degree. Touch the words on line number 3. What words? Graduate student. A graduate student is someone who has an undergraduate degree and is working on a higher degree. Touch the words on line number 4. What word? A doctoral degree. A doctoral degree is the highest degree you can get. Words number 5, related to. If it has to do with another thing, it is related to that thing. Number 6, what word? Incurable. When something is incurable, it cannot be cured. Let's go ahead and look at part 5. First word, what word? Apologized. Next word, what word? Entertainers. Next word, what word? Respond. Next word, what word? Advantage. Next word, what word? Practical. Next word, what word? Wrong. Next word, what word? Faked. Next word, what word? Conducted. Next word, what word? Striking. Next word, what word? Attracted. Next word, what word? Professional. Next word, what word? Equals. Next word, what word? Affect. Next word, what word? Routine. Next word, what word? Clue. Let's go ahead and begin with her story, the same old routine. Please follow along as I will be answering the questions. Millie had a ball during the remaining of 2 days of the convention of the International Association of Physicists. She attended sessions during the day and was generally very serious, except when she shook hands with her handshake buzzer or pinned one of her red and white buttons another physicist. In the evenings, however, she played one joke after another. By the end of the last evening of the convention, she had attracted a crowd of people who followed her around, waiting to see what her next joke would be. Most of the people in the crowd were physicists, but some were people who found Millie more entertaining than the professional entertainers in the hotel. One reason they found Millie so funny was that though she had an impish twinkle in her eyes, she didn't look like the type of person who would play practical jokes. Listen to question number 1. Why did Millie find it funny that Millie played practical jokes? Why did people find it funny that Millie played practical jokes? People find it funny because Millie didn't look like the type of person who would play practical jokes. Let's go ahead and continue. For Millie, the convention was more fun than a circus. She had so much fun that she had begun to plan her tricks for the following year's convention of the International Association of Physicists. Millie found it a little dull to return to her routine in her laboratory and her classroom. She taught 2 courses, one for undergraduates who were taking their first college course in physics, and another for graduate students who were studying for their doctoral degrees. She was pleasant and entertaining when she taught. She told stories that related to whatever the students were studying. Millie made a rule to never play practical jokes on her students. From time to time, she would break the rule with her graduate students, but she never joked with undergraduates. She didn't want to take advantage of them because she felt they were not in a position to get even if she played a joke on them. The other physicists, on the other hand, were Millie's equals. They could get mad at her or laugh at her or play a joke on her if they wished, and sometimes they did. Listen to question number 2. What 2 courses did Millie teach? Millie taught 1 course for undergraduates and 1 course for graduate students. Second question, why wouldn't Millie play jokes on her undergraduate students? Millie didn't play jokes on her undergraduate students because she felt they couldn't get even with her. Now, why would she play jokes on her fellow physicists? Millie played jokes on her fellow physicists because they were her equals. They could get even with her. For example, after Millie returned from the convention, she had very strange results when she performed a laser experiment on a piece of zinc. The reason was that the piece of zinc was not pure zinc. Fred and one of the other physicists, Dr. Helen Mark, had treated the zinc with acid. As Millie conducted the experiment and recorded the results, Fred watched her, laughing to himself. Now, why was Fred laughing to himself? Fred was laughing to himself because he was playing a joke on Millie. Millie quickly figured out what was wrong, but she didn't give the slightest clue that she had. Instead, very seriously, she performed several other experiments with the treated zinc. For one of these experiments, she placed a piece of zinc in a box. What Fred didn't know was that Millie had also placed a large rubber snake in the box. The snake was on a large spring, so the snake would pop out of the box when the lid was opened. Millie placed the box on the laser target and faked an experiment, and she pretended to open the box and look inside. Finally, she called Fred over and said, "Freddie, I can't understand what's happening with the zinc. Look inside that box. You're not going to believe what you see." "Okay," Fred said, smiling. He opened the box and the snake flew out, striking him on the chin. He dropped the box lid and jumped in fright. His face turned quite red as he said, "We were just trying to teach you a lesson, but I think you're incurable." Listen to question number 4. Why did Fred say Millie was incurable? Fred said that Millie was incurable because she reacted to his joke by playing another joke on him. Now let's go ahead and continue. Millie apologized for her joke, then she returned to her experiments. For some reason, she decided to put a piece of gold in the box and see if the metal detector would still give strange readings. It did. Then she filled the box with dirt and shot a series of short laser bursts at it. The metal detector reacted the same as it had when there was no dirt in the box. Millie began to reason this way. If the box and the dirt don't affect the reading on the metal detector, the laser can be used to detect gold when it is underground. If the beam goes in the direction of gold, the metal detector will respond in that strange way. I can't find gold with my laser. Now, why did Millie think she could find gold with her laser? Millie thought she could find gold with her laser because the dirt in the box didn't affect the readings. So I will go ahead and send you the recording and your workbook. Make sure you go ahead and complete it and turn it in by today. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Have a great day.